Earthquake warning. Major tremor forecasted to hit tomorrow. This is a shock claim not by somebody who's predicting if and when. This is a geologist that is coming out saying this. And if you have to hear I'll leave a link below. This is on Express UK by Sean Martin. The thing is that the geologist warns, and they've put a woman geologist to give the warning, I guess to have a softer effect. The thing is that when you listen to her, you should listen to her because it's a very significant thing to hear a geologist announcing that it will strike quite soon. They're expecting a 9 magnitude quake in New Zealand, and the announcer was shocked. He says, this is very strange that you're coming out and saying this so clearly. And why is that so? She says, well, we have the responsibility to inform people so that they can take measures to protect themselves. Now, the whole time that she's giving her announcement about this, her voice is shaking. And obviously this is very significant because she's also a mature woman. She's not 20, 30 years old and inexperienced. But anyway, it's an earthquake warning. Major tremor forecasted to hit tomorrow. It's been predicted to hit tomorrow as conspiracy theorists warn of an alignment of planets in the solar system which could ultimately wreak havoc on our planet. Well, it's also the fact that we're getting the solar storm is right into us, and it will be on us for 2 days. Also the planetary alignment, also the fact that we have been getting other quakes, and the fact that we also had that weird new volcano in Mayotte on the east coast of Africa, between Africa and Madagascar. That thing is growing. It grew in 6 months, and I think from what I was, what we were calculating, it's growing at like anywhere between 5 and 10 feet a day. Where is that coming from? I mean, the south tip of Africa is not that far from, the Indian Ocean. You have Madagascar, and then it's not that far from Australia. It's basically the same tectonic plate. Nevertheless, New Zealand is in a subduction zone, and they've been talking about a huge magnitude 9 quake in New Zealand, on the east coast of New Zealand, on the North Island for about a month, over a month now, because I remember making a video on that, that they wanted to prepare people. Now, the critical situation is currently in place. The gravity of other celestial bodies in our galactic neighborhood tugging on the Earth, according to one earthquake mystic, Mercury, Jupiter, the Sun, Mars, and Saturn have all supposedly positioned themselves as to have a detrimental effect on Earth's tectonic plates. It's full of gravity. The new earthquake forecaster, Frank Hugerbeets, and remember the last time he came out and said it a couple of times, and he was in the time frame that he said exactly, especially about the what was it, the 8 magnitude, and the one before that, the Papua New Guinea 7.5. The 8 in Peru and the 7.5, he was in that time frame. So Frank Hugerbeets made the bold claim, believing the gravitational pull of these celestial bodies in the planetary alignment will cause tension to build in the Earth's tectonic plate. That's not the first time. This has been happening for millennia. And he says, which will ultimately be released in the form of an earthquake. But it's not only him. The fact is that a long time ago, the fact is that they have measurements from the types of chemicals that they find. It's either the gases or the fact the gravity. They measure if there's more gravity in there. They also have gravity changes, especially when they have volcanoes and magmas underneath, which means that there could be a shaking or an eruption. Now, Hooker Beats wrote on his website, Detranum, critical geometry occurs as Earth and the Moon are being influenced by Mercury and Jupiter, while Mercury lines up with the Sun and Saturn later on the 28th. We're already past the 28th, this is the 29th today. The situation remains critical as Mercury lines up with Mars and the Sun on the 30th, which is tomorrow, and also with Earth and Jupiter. Of course, together with this, we also have to realize that we also have the space weather that's affecting us. And the space weather, yesterday I put up, well, a couple of hours ago actually, we have the solar storm has arrived, and it's having an effect on us as well. So, all right, so going back to the article, Hooker Beats reached his conclusion from his analysis using the Solar System Geometry Index, SSGI, which is the computation of a dataset for a specific time frame of values given to specific geometric positions of the planets, the Moon and the Sun. He said, after 3 years of observations, it became clear that some planetary geometry in the solar system clearly tends to cause a seismic increase, while other geometry does not. But experts have previously dismissed Mr. Huckebeat's claims, saying that there is no way earthquakes can be predicted. Well, they're wrong. They can be predicted because geologists do have certain things that they measure, not only for predicting earthquakes, but also for volcanic eruptions. For example, the geologists have come out predicting that they expect a major earthquake over a magnitude 7.5 in the Southern California area around Los Angeles, which is very overdue. Now, John Bellini, a geophysicist at the U.S. Geological Survey, has said we can't predict or forecast earthquakes. Sometimes before a large earthquake, you'll have a foreshock or two, but we don't know their foreshocks until the big one happens. Okay, well, he's right concerning, for example, Papua New Guinea or Peru, because Peru, for example, didn't have foreshocks, and it didn't really have aftershocks either, unless they're going to have them later on in a couple of days. We don't know. But no doubt planetary alignment does have something to do with all this, as well as the solar flares, as well as the solar minimum, and the fact that Earth's magnetic shield is decreasing. We have more cosmic waves coming in, bombarding us, does not help either. Now, USGS completely denies that earthquakes can be forecasted, writing on its website, quote, neither the USGS, nor any other scientists have ever predicted major earthquakes. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.